All right, so today I'm gonna be answering questions for y'all and talk to y'all about how we got to where we at right now. So you say keep going, but y'all gotta be patient with me because we're trying to work to get something done at the same time. But basically, a question that I get asked a lot is, how did I get my own shop? And I'm here to tell you, I got my own shop because I got tired of working for somebody. I felt like me working for somebody just wasn't, working out for me. And I decided that if I put 9 to 5 into myself, 8 hours a day into myself and my own, instead of $9 an hour, just whatever I want to charge for whatever my talent is, why not? And so then I started it. God damn, hold on, take my pause.
That shit was funny.
What you doing here? Trying to lose something? God damn. Hold on, shit. This is why I told y'all ass, UTI, you don't want to listen to me. Put the short 15 on here. Now what? Why? Listen to me. Okay. I told you, this bolt got to be up there in the corner. Once it's up there in that corner, boom. Let me show this young book something. Y'all ready? Watch this. Look at that. Look at that. Anyways, so come here to the drawing board, people. Put the electric ratchet on there. So look, I said, how you get your own shop? And I'm here to tell y'all that, I did it because look, for real though. You know what I'm saying? What? I just got motivated. Like, I got tired of working for somebody. I got tired of people telling me what to do. And I felt like I wasn't getting paid enough because I was working at a mechanic shop and they was making like $9 an hour. And my manager, my supervisor couldn't do the job better than me. So I was like, man, let me just use this experience and use what I'm going through here to learn. I did that for like a year or two. I also worked at another shop and they wasn't paying me, but instead of being mad in my feelings, I just kept going and getting the knowledge, and I knew I was gonna open my own shop. And so I started my own company. I was mobile. I was going house to house. I was doing it in my garage, with whatever to make it shape till the opportunity presented itself. And then when I was on Marketplace at like 3 in the morning, saw the shop on Marketplace, I was like, hey, is it available? He was like, yeah. The next day I went and looked at it and we cashed out. And now this is what we do. Oh, you waiting on me? You ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. Look at this dude.
It's just Ant being Ant.
You got it? Come on. All right, Trevor.
He said, quit playing with me.
All right, so another thing that people ask me all the time is, you good? All right, another thing that people ask me is, they be like, how you stay so positive? And what I got to say to that is, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't look at stuff as like, there's always a brighter side to stuff. Like, I don't know. That's just like so like ant to me. I just look at stuff for what it is. Like, I accept the situation for what it is, and I be like, okay, now how do I make the best of the situation? And it's like, there's always gonna be an outcome. Whether it's gonna be what you want or close to what you want, or it might not be what you want at all, but it's gonna take you to where you need to be. Whatever the case is, I just look at it and be like, some way, somehow, this is about to work out. Like, I don't care. You can take everything I got, and I'm like, I'm gonna make it work. So I don't really, like, I have a positive attitude, but I think it's more so for me is I just have a drive that's like never ending. Like, I'm not gonna let something just take away everything after how hard I work. And even if you do take away everything, it's like, I'm still me. So everything that I've built is built off of who I am. So you can take the shop, you can take the fast cars, you can take all of this. I'm still gonna make something shake out of it, nothing. So that's kind of like all I got to say for that part. First steps into becoming a mechanic. Simple. You buy your own car, you wait for that shit to break, you take it all the way apart, you fix it. Well, you take it all the way apart, you research, then you fix it, right? And then you start charging for that. And that's how it basically happened for me. I had a car, I got tired of paying those prices, so I started researching, YouTubing, Googling, I bought mechanic books, started doing my own stuff, and I just slowly started doing little things, my own brake job, my own oil change, my own intake manifold, my own overheating problem, and then having the right tools. So I bought a pressure test kit, a head gasket kit, all the little stuff that you'll need, and it just made jobs so much easier. And I just started, doing that every day. I wasn't afraid to go work at a shop for free. So I was working at a shop that wasn't paying me, but just watching them do everything, and decided to finally take it on. So I went and bought a car, And then I finally was like, man, I want to build and do performance, because this is what I was just doing regular mechanic work. I was like, I want to do performance work, which is these type of cars. I want to make them fast, you know. And now you look around, you see, look over here, we got a fast car, you know. And so, and I was like, I'm gonna take my car and build it. So I took my car completely apart. I bought everything brand new, did all of my researching. And for like 2 years, that's what I did. It was just researching and buying parts. You know, after 2 years of, you know, I think I finally got it. I put it back together. And as you can see, here's my baby right here, you know? And we make, you know, a little power to the wheel. And then I started charging for my knowledge. So it's like learn the knowledge and then charge for what you know. It's kind of how you got to do that. All right, come on. All right, do you prefer mobile in the shop? I prefer mobile. You prefer mobile? I ain't gonna lie, I would say I prefer mobile, but because of like what I do, so because I do performance work, I mean, that's something that's definitely in shop. But if I wasn't doing performance work, I would most likely just get a truck and be mobile, because everything that you can do at a place. You don't have to have a shop and a lift. Now, granted, having a lift, oh my God. Hey, like, I'll never lay on my back again probably because having a lift is just lovely, but I don't need it. And also having a lift, like what I pay for rent at the shop, I can just have a mobile and not have to pay shop rent. And a lot of my jobs are radiator leaks, brake change, oil changes, you know, electrical work. That's all stuff. You don't need a shop to do electrical work. You can do that at home and drop. You just need the right tools. As long as you have the right tools, I would say do mobile. But because I already got my shop and I want to open more than one shop, I want to expand, a shop is fine. But if you just want to run your own business and, you know, keep a little change in your pocket and, you know, take your business from here to here, you can do mobile, get you a mobile truck, and you can get multiple trucks out there. And some people are mobile, they don't even have a shop. But for, like I say, for what I do projects. So if you come over here, as you can see, this is not something I would do mobile, right? I have this whole motor drivetrain out. I have the entire interior out. If you peek inside of here, we removed the entire interior, right? So for something like this, no. And we swapped it over into here, made this from a 3.6 to a 6.4. So this is a V6 to V8 swap. So for that, I'm not gonna do that mobile. I need that here at the shop. I need to brainstorm, be at the drawing board, you know, we'll do whatever. But and that's also a job like this, I'm doing a cam job. That's something that I would say it needs to be at a shop. But as far as your regular maintenance, man, you can do that mobile, save that money. And that way, everybody eat. Everybody make a little change. Okay, do I rent on the shop? I rent the shop, but actually, so I just rent by Bay, and I just do that like month to month right now. This is just how it kind of started off. And we had a different landlord when we started this process, and I was on a year lease. When we got the new landlord, I just decided to do month to month because I'm not trying to be here long. I want to move out and get my own spot completely and own everything. But for right now, I just rent and I just make it work every day. I started working on cars. Anyways, but I've been doing this since I started like 8 years old. My stepdad, before he passed away, we had a truck that we built for him. And it was just a 350. It was bored out a little bit, cam, headers, you know, simple stuff. And we started on that. He asked me to go out there while he at work and take this off, take this part off, put this part on. He taught me how to read sockets, how to read bolts and what size I think it is and things of that nature. And then it turned into, you know, going to the track every day or every weekend. I'll go to the track, I'll race, I'll have fun, and it just was like, time to turn it into a job and a hobby. And I've always been around the racetrack and been around people who race cars. So that's that. So did you go to mechanic school, and should you? I went to mechanic school. I graduated from YouTube University at the top of my class, you know what I'm saying? Hey, but nah, for real, on a serious note, I didn't go to school for it. I was YouTube and Google and car forums was my best friend. So I feel like that teach you more than school can because it's real life situations. In school, they kind of teach you how to beat the mechanic system, you know, how to torque your bolts, how to mark stuff for insurance purposes, things of that nature. But as far as doing an actual like mechanic job, I feel like this is something that you have to learn by experience and doing because every car is gonna be different. Every situation is gonna be different. What you do to this specific motor, even though it came out of the same year and car model, you might not do to the next motor. So it's just experience and, you know, going through the motions, messing up, first of all, I feel like you can't really truly ever learn anything if you don't mess up because you don't know your boundaries between yes and no. So on here, I know my boundaries between going too tight, too loose, giving it enough and not giving it enough. And that's because through experience and YouTube and reading other people's journey. Some things I don't have to experience and go through because if someone says, hey, I torqued this boat to 80 foot-pounds, and when I went, just a little tighter to 90 because I thought that's what I felt was best, it stripped, I know not to even try to touch 90. I'm gonna tighten it at 80 foot-pounds and leave it at that. So like I say, forums and YouTube is what helped me. Should you go to school? Ant is in school for it. That's why I hired him. And do you feel like the whole school thing helped you, or like you learn more here? So that's from somebody who's in school. If you want to go to school, that's personal preference. I personally say don't go to school. Put the time into working in the shop and learning and getting experience with somebody who really knows what they're doing. I got behind the old head, but yeah, back to that. It's a personal preference. If you think you should go to school, I mean, hey, go to school. I don't knock it. I would say just get under somebody who knows what they're doing and learn from them. All right, what is your least and favorite car to work on? Anyways, all right, I'm gonna start with my favorite car to work on. I ain't gonna lie, my favorite car to work on is anything Mopar. I love working on Mopar. It's simple, it's easy, and you could charge, for it because that's just what it costs for. The parts are accessible, and it's always the same problem. Every Mopar that come in have a lifter tick, overheating because the radiator fan not working, the thermostat is stuck, the water pump is bad, and electrical issues, which is pretty much every Mopar that come in the shop and leave with that. And Chevy, anything that's a Chevy, same thing. Chevy has a bunch of electrical and computer problems. Easy. I love doing those. It's simple. My least favorite car to work on though is definitely a Chevy or Buick, but same thing. But it's definitely like the 3800s, the Buick Regal 3800s. I hate those cars. I despise working on those cars. The Cadillac Northstar engine. Actually, I haven't had a bad experience with one yet. Everyone has told me how bad it is. I haven't had a bad experience with it yet, but I just still prefer not to work on them. And then I would say probably, he made a point on that one. Dirty cars. So when customers bring their cars in, they got food everywhere, ashes in the car, weed everywhere, chips on the ground. It ain't been vacuumed out. Everything is dusty. Look at this. Come here. Let me show you. This. Everything is just crusty. When I bump into something, it breaks. And then the customer's like, well, it didn't come in with that issue. Well, the car is 50 years old, ain't never had a heater hose changed on it. I'm sorry I bumped it in the crack. So, yeah, that's my least favorite cars to work on. Here.
He's sticking to you, Aunt.
I got here.
Aunt said, no, he's not.
I got here from hard work and dedication. There's no other excuse. I had a hard life. I've been through hell and back. I was at here at one point in my life and thought I could be untouched, and I got knocked down to here and was touched. But I never lost sight of my dreams. I always knew I was gonna be great. But I didn't just know, I got up and acted on it. Every day I was working, I was trying to find a job, I was hustling, picking up scrap, building something, fencing, horse training, something. So I didn't just believe, I acted on my faith, and I just knew it was gonna work out. So that's kind of like all I can say there briefly. If y'all wanna know more about my story and what's going on, I'll leave that for another video and another time. But hard work and dedication is the only thing that I can say, and just being motivated, simply coming in, doing what you know you need to do every day. How did you come up with Tap In? As you can see, Tap In, although my other shirt say Big CEO, but it was dirty, so I had to wash it today. But I'm gonna just let y'all see the backside. You know what I'm saying? Hard work and dedication right there. But basically how I came up with that is I was sitting there thinking one day, I was like crying, just mind going, trying to figure out my life, where I wanted to be. And I was like, I wanna have something that is mine, I created, nobody can take from me, and I know it's gonna be, that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a mechanic business. So when it came to thinking of the name, I was like, man, I want something that like people gonna hear it and they gonna be like, oh yeah, like I'm about to go, like yeah. So I was like, tap out, tap this, tap that, and I was like, Tap In. Like, okay. I was like, so every time I have an experience with a person or working on cars or whatever, they gonna tap in with me. And it's not just gonna be, anybody who's got a job done with me, they'll tell you it's deeper than just the mechanic work. We connect on some level. So I was like, when people tap in with me, hey, they tapping in. We doing it right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring you to it. I'm gonna show you what we doing. I'm gonna make it go from looking like this to brand new, or as best as I can make it. I'm gonna be real with you. So I was like, man, when people tap in with me, they gonna really tap into, the spiritual side of things and just everything about me, everything about what's going on in that moment. So I called it Tap In. I just added presidentials to the end of it because, you know what I'm saying, I just wanted to feel a little certified. So it's Tap In Automotive Presidentials. And like I said, I just added the presidential part just so, feel like, what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But other than that, that's how I came up with Tap In. And then the last one is, remember when you asked for an opportunity and promised you would pull through when it showed up. So this actually came from a guy on my TikTok. And I pointed this one out because there was times when I was on my hands and knees crying, begging God to take away my pain, help me get to where I want to be. But I always noticed something about me. When I prayed, I never asked God to give me anything. I always asked God or the universe or whatever I was praying to at that time. I always asked to put me in the best position possible and help me become the best version of myself so that when the opportunity presents itself, I could capitalize on that moment. That's how I've always prayed and manifested. So, like I said, again, it goes back to what I said before. Instead of just having faith, I acted on faith. So I asked God to make me that way. So I started doing things that would push me more towards that way. I changed my friend group, the music I listened to. I changed my circle, the things that I was around, the things that I was interested in. I started reading books. I just started investing into my spiritual self. Once I did that, everything that I prayed for is right here in my face. So it's now, can't nobody take it from me. And I'm going to continue to do what I do and continue to walk this path with God. And it's crazy because on my TikTok, I'm more bigger for my faith and just my personality and my how I carry myself than I am for the mechanic work. And I want to be the world's best mechanic one day, you know what I'm saying? But it's cool though because we're just going to preach God with it. And that's kind of, the rumble of that. And to kind of bag up what I'm saying, now I'm going to just show y'all, just a day in the life of what I have, the things I've accomplished and the things that I have now versus the things that I had then. And then, you know what I'm saying?